A very good evening, everyone. Let's get right to breaking news and a traffic alert with a section of I-5 South completely closed at the I-405 split as ODOT performs some emergency repairs on an overpass. Right now, all southbound traffic is being diverted over the Fremont Bridge. This is an elevated section of highway, obviously serious enough to shut down half the interstate right in the middle of rush hour. The part in question runs over North Greeley Avenue, a surface street, also parts of Peabot's maintenance yard. We understand crews are working on repairs right now. This is a bridge joint on that section of highway. The traffic, as we said, being diverted onto I-405. We learned about this afternoon because drivers, ODOT said, started complaining about bumps in the middle of the road, kind of a pothole almost of sorts. They noticed something was wrong as they were headed over it. Bridge joints, by the way, they're metal plates that connect elevated sections of freeway together. The concrete can crack, some dropped, we understand, to the ground below, creating that pothole kind of issue. ODOT says this happens pretty often, but it needed to be repaired immediately.
What are the dangers associated with postponing this repair?
Well, we just want to make sure that this is safe, and we can't be sure that it's safe until we know that this bridge joint is functioning properly. As soon as we saw this was improperly operating, we wanted to make sure that it wasn't creating a bump in the road. It wasn't creating a safety hazard.
Again, this is in North Portland at the I-405 split. Southbound traffic being diverted onto the Fremont Bridge. Northbound, you are not impacted. ODOT says they hope to have these repairs wrapped up and the highway reopened by midnight. Stay with KGW for the latest on the closure. Updates available anytime at KGW.com. Be sure to download the KGW app and enable push alerts for the latest breaking traffic updates. All right, we continue this evening with what appears to be a bit of a bleak picture when it comes to downtown Portland's recovery. According to a new report, the Central City has the highest office vacancy rate in the entire country. John Adams is live downtown with those details. John?
Yeah, David, the study looks at the amount of vacant office space in Portland's central business district. At the end of 2023, that number was at 30%, the highest in the nation and up from last year. When you travel through downtown Portland, it's hard to miss the empty buildings and the for lease signs. Nearly 1/3 of all office space in Portland's central business district is sitting vacant, according to Colliers. The research firm expects that number to grow to 40% in the near future.
Look, every city has its challenges. There's no perfect place, but the downtown is in crisis. And just like if you had a kid that was sick, you get to the hospital. We need to do triage on downtown.
Portland developer and philanthropist Jordan Schnitzer says downtown businesses have faced a number of challenges over the last few years. COVID-19 era work from home policies, the city's ongoing drug and homelessness crisis, and high local taxes are just some of the reasons Schnitzer believes businesses have decided to leave the central city. But he says getting workers back downtown is critical for Portland going forward.
Suburbs are doing great. But every city you think about, the jewel of any metropolitan area is the downtown. And we can't let Portland just go down the tube. We need the equivalent of roughly probably 60, 70,000 workers a day down to Portland to fill up the office vacancies. We need to work together strategically to get those people back.
Schnitzer adds that restaurants and retail establishments have been hurt by the lack of office workers in the city. But despite the pessimistic outlook from Colliers, he believes Portland can still turn things around.
But we have to start with an attitude of saying, hey, this is still the city we love. This is still our home. Let's get together, great minds together, diverse group of people, all different ideas. How do we get Portland downtown back on track? We can do it.
And speaking of restaurants, I spoke with Gail, who is the owner of the Portland Kettle, which is right behind me on Southwest 3rd Street. Gail said that the lack of office workers in downtown Portland has hurt business, and she hopes workers will come back to downtown as soon as possible. David?
Yeah, it is all connected, and the sentiment is we need solutions. Thank you, John. To your headlines now. Portland police have made an arrest in a fatal crash Christmas Day in southeast Portland. Two cars collided that evening at Southeast Powell and 122nd. 24-year-old Connor Wells died from his injuries. At the time, police believe Wells was behind the wheel of one of the cars, but further investigation found that he was in fact the passenger, and 26-year-old Martell Mason was the driver. A grand jury returned a 10-count indictment, including manslaughter charges against Mason in January, and a warrant was issued. Mason was arrested Wednesday and booked into the Multnomah County Jail. A man is behind bars after police say he went on a reckless driving spree yesterday afternoon. It began when police in Lake Oswego say they tried to pull over 43-year-old David Rudge. Later on, Tigard police say Rudge hit 5 cars along Highway 99W before running a red light at Southwest 78th and then crashing into a 6th car. Rudge then allegedly got out of his truck wielding a knife. An off-duty officer and other witnesses were able to hold him down until police arrived. He is now facing a slew of charges, including vehicular assault. 2 people were hospitalized with minor injuries. And a Salem man is in jail facing federal charges this evening in connection with a rash of mail thefts that have gone on for nearly 2 years. 33-year-old Ross Sierzega was arrested earlier this week at his Southeast Salem apartment. Authorities say they found several counterfeit mailbox keys along with the tools to make them, plus other people's checks, their bank cards, financial papers, and 30-plus pounds of mail. They also found a short barrel shotgun and homemade body armor. The suspect is facing a host of charges, including mail theft and aggravated identity theft. Ashley?
Well, David, we've seen lots of rain here over the past 2 days. We're finally starting to see that sun break through. Here's a look live from Aloha. You can see this clouds just starting to lighten up here in the past couple of hours. What I want to show you is this really gorgeous, gorgeous picture from our Chinook winds camera. This is Lincoln City. It's just under 50 degrees there. How beautiful. This is what we're all going to be seeing here in the next few hours into tomorrow morning. So say goodbye to that rain. Say hello to an absolutely beautiful weekend. Now, we all sat right around the 50-degree temperature today. Didn't get too much warmer than that. You can see right in the 50s, Portland and Vancouver, 47 there in Hillsborough. Let's take a look at the state right now. You can see just under that here on the coast, and pretty similar there in Central Oregon as well. Bend sitting right around that 50-degree mark. But as I said, it's going to get a little bit warmer here in the next day. We're going to head into those mid-60s, and we're going to see some sunshine for Easter weekend. More on that coming up.
Hey, looking forward to that. Thank you, Ashley. An Oregon church has won a court battle to be able to keep feeding people who are homeless after the city of Brookings tried to throttle back its efforts. Sydney Dorner spoke with the reverend of that church. So, Sydney, walk us through the ruling here.
Yeah, David, St. Timothy's Episcopal Church has been serving meals since 2009. But in 2021, when Brookings City Council approved an ordinance stopping churches from giving out free food in residential areas without a permit. But the church sued, and yesterday the legal battle came to an end for now, with a federal judge siding with St. Timothy's. The judge wrote that the city of Brookings cannot impose land use regulations that make it difficult for the church to perform religious duties.
I think that's an infringement upon our religion for you to limit the number of days that we can feed people, because for us, that's the way we express our faith, is through caring for people who are on the margins, especially people who are hungry.
The legal battle for St. Timothy's Church isn't over yet. Right now, the city of Brookings has an abatement in place asking the church to stop shower and advocacy services that also bring homeless people into the neighborhood. St. Timothy's has appealed the abatement for right now. David, back to you.